Welcome back. All right, so some news of the day to close things out for today. Vince Dunn has been extended by the Seattle Kraken as the number of players going to arbitration drops. By my count, we now have only 11 left who have not settled, who filed for arbitration or whose teams filed for arbitration. That's how quickly this gets going. Dunn signs for 2 years at $4 million per season, a reasonable cap hit. I don't have a problem with the length of the contract either. Pretty good job done by Ron Francis on that one. I do like the defense core quite a bit in Seattle. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes down for them in their first season. Connor Timmins has signed a 2-year extension with Arizona for $850,000 per season. So, yeah, Timmins re-signs there, and we'll see if he does, in fact, get that better chance to break through as a member of the Arizona Coyotes than he did in Colorado. Michael Ferland, who, of course, a couple weeks ago stated he wasn't going to play any more hockey. He will, in fact, be working as an on-ice development coach for Western Canada Hockey Academy, and that is run out of Brandon, Manitoba. So Ferland jumping straight into the next part of his career, which will be helping with development. And I would not be surprised if, when his contract is up and he's officially on the retirement list, if he ends up being a coach at some level in the National Hockey League as well, whether it's as an assistant, whether it's in development or strength or whatever it is. Would not be surprised if Ferland ends up there. The biggest news of the day, so the Chicago situation always seems to be taking another turn. Now, of course, this is something that happened in 2010. Now, it was known when it came out. And Brad Aldrich, who was then released from his job with Chicago after the 2010 Stanley Cup, ends up somewhere else. And again, this is where all of the questions come in about whether or not they wrote him the letter of recommendation, which they say they didn't, but the lawsuit says that he did. And so there's 2 former Blackhawks that are in the midst of this civil suit. And of course, there's the separate suit as well involving a high school student. So this is still, all targeted towards the Hawks. Well, a lawyer for one of the former Hawks players who's involved in the civil suit is also asking for the U.S. Center for Safe Sport to investigate Stan Bowman for allegedly covering up the abuse allegation against Aldrich. And it's not like this whole, it's all accusations. No. Everybody's admitting Aldrich did terrible, horrible things, and he's on an offender registry. He's done. The question becomes when the Hawks knew and whether or not they should have reported it to the police, which they did not. And there's a lot of other things as well. Brent Sopel on his social media is very outspoken about the Hawks and stating that his belief is that they're doing whatever they have to and shuffling things around to try to cover this up. And yeah, so it's one of those things that It is not a pretty side of the sport, and there's definitely been other instances of the not so pretty side of the National Hockey League, and it runs the gamut. It really does. And I've been trying to figure out how to do a video where I discuss this kind of a thing, where I discuss other instances and do like a timeline of things that have occurred. But it's not a lot of fun to discuss. So. And it might be a bit of a tough slog to get through because there's a lot there. There really is. But hopefully this investigation, is done right. And I know that the investigation the Chicago Blackhawks are paying for, which they are insisting will be independent and that they will publicly reveal the details of, although we don't know how many. It's known that at least one of the 2 former players who's involved in this lawsuit has said they will not cooperate with the investigation Chicago's paying for because they don't believe that it is 100% objective, and they don't believe that it's an independent investigation. So we'll see what happens. All right, and from Rick Westhead talking to the Steve Dangle podcast made it clear that this could all just nothing happens. This may all just stop, and we may never know exactly what happened here. Todd Ewan's widow was taking the NHL to court. That ended up being settled out of court, and yeah, that never did get there, and it looked like that was going to get there. So we'll see what happens. All right, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.